What's good, my people? Welcome into Buckets, Action Network's daily NBA betting podcast. We're in the workshop Thursday, NBA slate. You know who's with me. J Money is Money. AC is out in Vegas. He's off for the evening, enjoying his win off the Michigan Wolverines on the Natty Monday night. He had to go out to Vegas and spend a little bit of the spoils. We are presented by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Go download the Action Network app right now. Pull the app up. Go to the Apple Store. Download the Action Network app. Look for the green check mark. Everything you need to know about sports betting is in that app. Also, go subscribe, to the Action Network YouTube page. All these podcasts that you listen to on the daily basis also come with video. Go check us out. Go subscribe to the Action Network YouTube page. Jay and I are on there a bunch. Green Dot Daily is on there with Maria Marino and the gang. Go check out a plethora of tons of informative videos on the Action Network YouTube page. All right, you know the deal. Thursday, NBA slate. We give the pick. We give the cap. We get you guys out of here. The Buckets podcast has won 6 straight pending J Money is Money Raptors team total, which is in progress right now as we record this. We're going to try to keep rolling for you people listening. J Money is Money. What are you looking at? What's the best bet for the Thursday NBA slate?
Give me the Phoenix Suns plus 1.5.
I'm going to go Milwaukee Bucks team total over 122.5 minus 120 with the Boston Celtics coming to town. All right, J Money. I was looking at this game myself. Lakers coming off a big win versus the Clippers. They then stack it up, get 2 wins in a row. Now they play a marquee game on TNT against the Phoenix Suns, who have been struggling a little bit. Let's be completely honest here. What makes you want to back the Suns in this spot?
Well, first off, Lakers are probably coming off a game where they probably shouldn't have won. But regardless of that, this is a triple revenge spot for the Suns. They've lost all 3 matchups this season versus the LA Lakers. This is obviously the 4th and final one. It's the last time for the Suns to try to get some revenge. But this is also the Suns' first time having their big 3 going up against the Lakers as well. So I know the Suns aren't the greatest defensive team, but they are coming off 2 of their worst losses of the season. So I think they come out here pissed. I think they're going to be rolling offensively. Just need enough defense from them to get it done versus the Lakers in this one. But I'll take them plus the points on the money line. I'm on the Suns in this spot. I think this is one of those games where they finally get going and finally on TNT, national TV, show the world that they are for real. I know that they've been struggling, but I really think they're going to start to put things together, and it starts here tonight. Give me the Suns plus the 1.5 in a triple revenge spot versus the LA Lakers.
There's certain games in the NBA regular season that teams are just going to get up for. It's a nationally televised game on TNT. Lakers have won 2 in a row. Suns have been up and down. This game, everybody's going to show up. This is going to be a very good game. I think that's why you see the number being as short as it is, +1, +1.5, +2 in some spots, depending on where you're looking. Total sits at 237.5. Now, you mentioned you don't feel like the Lakers should have got the W against the Raptors. If you didn't see the rant, go look it up ASAP. Raptors shot 2 free throws in the 4th. The Lakers shot 1,000,000. Anthony Davis, I think, had 16 free throws in the game, more than the Raptors attempted the entire game. How do I say this, Jay? You feel like they shouldn't have won because of the whistle? And is this a reason for them to come in a little less sharp now that they've stacked 2 in a row up there, 19-19? Can catch them lackadaisical a little bit?
Well, honestly, I probably shouldn't have said that. I mean, it's things that I know, like behind the scenes or whatever. But I probably shouldn't have said that. It's really not a big part of the cap, but it's kind of like, and if you know, you know. But regardless of that, regardless of what's happened in the past, just looking towards the future, the Suns have really been lackluster. Are you kind of starting to hear the rumblings about KD's possibly not being happy there, Booker? They finally got the big 3 back now. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's crazy because Bill Bill came back and then he got injured. Booker's been out. Then both of those are back. Then KD had a hamstring injury. But I think you're finally going to see this team play a pissed off type of game. I think they might come in here. I know the Lakers are a damn good defensive team, but I think the Suns come out here and drop 125 on their head. So no matter what happened in the last game, I don't really care. But mainly for the Suns, they're coming off two terrible losses, coming off a game versus the Memphis Grizzlies, where there was no Ja Morant. They got outscored 33-16 in the fourth quarter. And then their next game, obviously versus the Clippers, they came out and played a really good first half. They actually had the lead in the first half versus the Clippers. Then the second half, they just got blown out of water, which we know the Clippers are one of the most well-balanced teams at the house. And they were coming off that loss as well to the LA Lakers. So I'm seeing a major bounce back spot and a possible letdown spot for the Lakers as well. No matter how it shakes out, I'm on the Suns here +1.5.
Lakers 1-4 in their last 5 games against the spread. This team has been struggling to cover and win games by margin. This is the books asking them to win by margin on 2 in a row on a national big time spot where we expect the Phoenix Suns to show up. Let's see how it shakes out west. All right, I'm going to go to team total. Bucks over 122.5 minus 120. They are playing the Boston Celtics. This is a flat out scheduling spot. J Money. Celtics, 5th game in 7 days. They're on a back-to-back going on the road, coming off of overtime against the Minnesota Timberwolves at home. They got it done. They did what they needed to do. 18 straight at the house. That's a new franchise record for the Boston Celtics. This is a really tough spot against a team that is going to be desperate for a win. The Bucks are coming off 2 straight L's, have lost 4 of their last 5 games. At home, over this year, the Bucks are averaging 124.6 points per game at home. Just like we talked about the Lakers and the Suns, that being both teams, hopefully Phoenix getting up for that matchup on TNT, this will be a major game. The Milwaukee Bucks will show up and try to show out against their top competition in the East, the Boston Celtics. Just like the Timberwolves got up for the Boston Celtics coming in to Boston. They didn't want them to win 18 straight. That was without Rudy Gobert. That was without Mike Conley. I did the NBA bet stream. I was on the game. We went through it. Boston should have lost that game. Minnesota came down the stretch and collapsed a bit offensively. They were sending a double at Ant-Man Anthony Edwards, and he couldn't get it done. They had a couple wasted possessions coming down the stretch. And then in OT, the crowd was rocking. Minnesota couldn't get it done. Now Boston has to get on a plane, go to Milwaukee, who's lost 4 or 5, are kind of reeling a little bit. At least offensively, I know for a fact the Milwaukee Bucks are going to get up for this game. Just like Jay said, they're going to put up 125 on Boston's head. Is that going to be enough? We shall see. The injury report right now for Milwaukee is clean. The only person on there is Jay Crowder, who's been out a vast majority of the year. So I don't know who's going to play for Boston. I know Milwaukee is going to be up for this game, regardless of who gets on the plane and who suits up for Boston, who is playing 5 in 7. Kristaps didn't play against Minnesota. We'll see if he shakes against Milwaukee in Wisconsin. Bucks team total over 122.5 minus 120. I really like the spot. I don't see why Milwaukee wouldn't show up against a tired, banged up Boston team who just got off a really hard win in overtime. Now they got to go on the road and then slow up one of the best offensive teams, if not the best offensive team, now that Halliburton's down in the NBA. I can't see them not scoring 123 plus here. Give me the Milwaukee Bucks team total at home. Jay, how you feel about it?
Yeah, I can't talk you off. And I like that you're staying away from the spread, which as we're recording, we don't really know what the spread is. We don't know who's going to play for the Celtics, but I mean, just like you laid it out, Dame Lillard was out the last game with personal reasons. He practiced. Looks like he's going to, they said that he's available for sure. So you're going to get everybody in there for the Milwaukee Bucks. We know that these two teams have bad blood. The Celtics have already beaten them earlier this year as well, 119-116 in Boston. But this time around with Milwaukee, this team has been kind of reeling. We know know that they're going to be pissed off, Sean. So I like how you're finding the angle to go with the Bucks. And fifth game in 7 nights with travel, and like back to back, third game in 4 nights, travel on the road, coming off an overtime game. It's an absolute dead zone type of spot for the Celtics to possibly be coming in here, real sleepy spot here, man. I could see these guys falling asleep in the second half of this game, and the Bucks coming off 2 horrible losses. I mean, the game versus the Rockets wasn't too bad, but they lost at the house versus the Jazz. Giannis is pissed. They were down 33 in the first half. Like, and you know what I'm saying? You found a really good spot to back the Bucks here to come out absolutely pissed. Might have to look towards their way in the spread as well. But fifth back to back with travel and come off overtime game, fifth game in 7 nights is always a fade spot. No matter, even if it's the best team in the NBA. I mean, don't be a bit surprised if you see a guy or two rest for the Boston Celtics in this one, man. So horrible spot to be looking towards the Celtics. I think they're going to be running on fumes in this game. I like your look on Bucks team total, Sean.
Spread as we record this is it's Wednesday night at 11:22 p.m. The number right now is Bucks -6.5. So keep an eye on that, see where it lands. But that's what the number is right now. With the rest advantage, which the Milwaukee Bucks will have, they had a 1 day off. They're 6-3 ATS with the rest advantage. With 1 day off, the Milwaukee Bucks against the spread are 16-9 ATS. That's fourth best in the NBA. I expect Milwaukee at the very least. Maybe they don't cover 6.5. I don't see why they wouldn't cover 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
But I know offensively, they're going to come out and get busy in this spot. They're going to get up for the Boston Celtics. They've lost 4 or 5. They're at home. I see no reason why the Milwaukee Bucks don't have success here on offense. Give me over 122.5 with the team total. Now, Jay, before we get out of here, couple other games on the slate. Thunder Blazers, that could be a sleepy spot for the Thunder. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
You laid it out, Jay. I said, is there any possibility? Because I was on the over. That cashed over 234.5, went over by quite a bit. It was no sweat cash on that side. You talked about getting to the window on the Thunder. You believe that they would close that road trip strong. That's exactly what they did. Went into Miami and got the W. Any potential spot for this to get a little sleepy? They're now back at home playing the Blazers. The number is big, -14 for the Thunder. I'm not asking you to pick a side. I'm not asking you to pick this game, but just overall, when you're looking at the board on a spot like this would typically be a pass, or how do you evaluate -14 with the team coming off a 4-game road trip, then getting back home, and then playing one of the worst teams in the NBA?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'd love if it was anybody else other than the Blazers. This is still a spot. I mean, a lot of times in the NBA, you kind of have to take your bias out, even no matter it could be the worst team in the NBA, and if the spot says that you should probably back them, then you probably should. Well, I always say take the names off the jerseys and just look at the spot. Spot says you don't lay 13.5 in this particular spot. I know it's the Thunder. I know that they're a much better team, but they're coming off a 4-game road trip. They're coming off a game in Miami, which they had to come back and win that game as well. They were down basically like the whole first half, and then basically started putting things on in the third or fourth quarter. So you almost have to win 2 games when you're doing that. So they lose an hour with going back west as well. They're going from Eastern time zone to Central, so they're going to lose. These are things that people don't really think about, Sean. But on a back to back, you're losing an hour and flying back to the house in OKC. As you're coming off a 4-game road trip, road home back to back, and the last time they faced the Blazers, they won by 43 points by a score of 134-91 on November 19th. So since then, the Blazers have been playing a little bit better basketball. The spot would say to take the points in this particular spot with the Portland Trailblazers. Don't really look at their record here. It's just a spot play to where I wouldn't necessarily trust the Oklahoma City Thunder laying 13.5 here.
We just talked about 2 big spots for teams getting up for each other on national TV with Suns, Lakers, and then Celtics, Bucks. This is not a spot that the Thunder would get up for a team like the Portland Trailblazers with them getting back home off a 4-day. They're human beings here. What are we talking about? We just beat these boys by 40 plus. We're getting back home. Yeah, we'll pull up to the gym. We'll be there. Don't worry about it. We'll bust their ass. Next thing you know, it's the fourth quarter, and it's a tie game. So keep an eye on that. Anthony Simons and the boys could come in there and cover a number. We'll potentially see. All right. I'm going to ask you about one more before we get out of here. Knicks Mavs. This is a really interesting game, man.
It
Knicks are the
is.
favorite here, -3.5, going to Dallas. They're 5-0 since going to get OG Anunoby. They've been absolutely lock up on the defensive side of the ball. I was wondering what this number would open at. I thought it would be potentially a pick 'em, a -1, a -2. I
It
was
was,
a
Sean.
little shocked to see 3.5 pushing 4 in some spots. Any thought on that overall matchup with the Knicks going down to Dallas?
Yeah, I wanted to be on the Mavs here. Mavs are coming off a game where they shouldn't have lost to the Memphis Grizzlies with no Ja Morant or Triple J. The line actually opened up Mavs -1.5. It's crazy, Sean. Like the Knicks opened up as underdogs here, but then you get Luka Doncic ruled out, and then you see the line move to 3.5, even touching 4 at some spots. So that's the cap on that game right there. No Luka. The Knicks are, I mean, they're red hot right now. It's really hard to bet against them, but I can say if Luka was in there, I was going to be on the Mavs here. I think that opening line number was all over him. With no Luka, I'm off the game. Obviously, the Knicks are red hot. 5-0 since OG been over there. And the key thing is they've lost the last couple matchups versus the Mavs as well. We know that Brunson has bad blood with Dallas. The Mavs will never forgive him for not even giving them a chance to give him an offer over there. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sure Brunson will be turned up here. They do have the better overall team. They're definitely the better defensive team as well. But one really key injury here to look out for is Derek Lively. Him and Maxi Kleber have been upgraded to doubtful, which they're not ruled out. You see what I'm saying? And if they can get Lively, I think it'll be a lot more of a game. If Lively's not in there, the Knicks will probably eat him for breakfast.
Yeah, with Lively and no Luca, I just don't know where any impact players are coming from outside of Kyrie, right? So
Yeah.
that's going to be
Kyrie PRA. I'm telling you that right now. Kyrie
yeah.
PRA.
Whatever the number is, the usage rate is gonna be crazy for Kyrie in that game versus the Knicks. And I saw a tweet, I think he's like 14-2, Kyrie or something, is against the Knicks. Something crazy. He's has had over his career, has had a lot of success against the Knicks. Maybe they pick up on that. But I'm excited to continue to watch the Knicks and the Mavs and see where that game shakes. All right, that's going to do it for us. To recap, J Money is Money Suns official +1.5 versus the Lakers. I am on the Bucks team total over 122.5 -120 with the Boston Celtics coming to town. We are presented by BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks. Don't forget to go download the Action Network app. Go subscribe to the YouTube page. Subscribe to this pod, man. Drop a review. Talk to us in the comments. Do all that stuff. Hit the DMs. Follow J Money is Money on Twitter. Go follow J Money is Money's YouTube page. He's on there breaking down games for you guys all the time. I am at Chicago Flow. And of course, go follow the Action Network handles across the board. For J Money is Money, I am Sean Little. Don't forget it. Get buckets, baby. We'll see y'all tomorrow.